Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live, brought to you by PrizePicks. Sign up for PrizePicks today with the promo code Leading Off. It's me, Joey P. That, of course, is the Welsh, and it's you, the Peanuts, the Cracker Jacks. Welsh, this is a new one. Before we even started the show today, there were 60-plus comments in the chat.
I saw
Before
that.
the show started, I don't know what's going on. I guess everybody's just excited for Emmet Sheehan today, because I guess he wasn't getting promoted to AAA. We mistook that promotion. It apparently goes right to the big leagues because that's where that dude is starting tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, Emmet Sheehan. I think I kind of hand it at the end. I think it might be Sheehan at the end, but Emmet, great name, Emmet. Don't know many Emmets as we've talked about, but we're going to get to know one at the major league level. I told you before, one of the reasons too, like we were pushing and talking a little bit before the show started and we looked at the comments, we're like, holy crap. I don't know how to gauge rookies and prospects anymore. I just don't know how to gauge it to the major leagues because
that's funny.
Nothing.
Because you host a podcast.
I can evaluate them and I can talk to you about them, but I don't.
That's what
I don't know how to gauge what the hell is going on because this is completely contrary to anything we would have seen before. But obviously, Emmet Sheehan was on the faster track and was someone we needed to pay attention to. It's just way quicker than we thought. Guy has been at the top now with the Complex and Dominican Summer League. The leaderboards are a little bit funky, but essentially Emmet Sheehan has been the leader in K percentage in the minors, leader in K minus walk percentage, really because of that insane strikeout rate, and has had an under 2 ERA for this season. This is a big fastball, big, awesome changeup as well. He's going to throw in a couple other pieces. He's going to pound the zone. This is going to be exciting. He's also got a nice kind of like, it's like a quarter arm angle slot that just makes him a little bit more deceptive. And I think he's going to get some innings. And I mean, we've talked about this, Joe. This was the guy. If you were trying, there are two guys you were trying to stash as far as prospect pitchers right now, Gavin Williams and Emmet Sheehan. And there he is. And hopefully you got your shares.
I'm going to give Welsh some props here. I had not heard of Emmet Sheehan until Welsh brought him up. Like, I had heard of him, but not that, like, oh, he's making this noise, basically. And this was, like, I feel like it was a month and a half ago. Like, it was a long time ago, I think, when you first brought him up on the show and said, look, this guy's going bananas right now. You got to at least watch him. If you're in Dynasty and he's not rostered, you got to go roster him. The innings is a question. I mean, he's up to what, like 56, I think 53 right now.
So, 53 innings.
I think, what was the high? I think it was 78 if I was looking properly at.
So no, last year
high was.
Well, I would tell you this. Last year in the majors, it was 67, but I think you also have to count what he did in the Arizona Fall League, which was at least another 20 to 25 innings.
Okay.
So I think it's fair to say, let's call it 90 innings he got last year between the Arizona Fall League and the majors. And he's already at 50. You probably can push 120, 130 maybe. So you've got somewhere between 60 and 80 innings left on the year, depending how they manage him. So I guess that's more of like the long-term redraft people are concerned about. What do you have out of Sheehan?
And just to go through the stats, obviously when it comes to Sheehan, he's got a 1.86 ERA, 88 strikeouts to 23 walks over 53 innings. Just absurd. He was the number 13 prospect on the pipeline. I got some questions actually this morning regarding Sheehan too, because everyone's very excited and they asked me, I've got Logan Allen, I've got Tanner Bybee, and I've got Taj Bradley. Would you drop any of those guys for Sheehan? And I said, no, I wouldn't, because I think those guys are more relevant July, August, September possibly than Sheehan could possibly be. Now, I might be wrong, and maybe you're going to miss some lightning in a bottle here with Sheehan, but I think all three of those names for me all make it through the season longer than Sheehan. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, we can't even talk about Taj Bradley after that performance yesterday.
Yeah,
I mean,
Taj is gonna be
9
fine.
outs, 9 strikeouts. Taj is the best of the best right now. Someone asked me, I see the same question every single day. It's like Bybee versus Logan Allen. I don't know. I mean, they could mess with stuff. I think the Guardians rotation, it has the same questions the Dodgers rotation. Because here's my only problem with Sheehan, as much as I like him, is Dustin May is going to come back. He's actually over here at the Dodgers complex working through. Like, they've got guys that are still coming back from injury. Urias, we're dealing with. So that is going to take someone off. So I kind of don't know if this is a long-term thing. So my answer is I'm probably going to take all those guys over Sheehan because I think Sheehan to me feels very AJ Smith-Shawver right now. Like, I don't know if he can
Right,
stay in the rotation for the
he is
year.
a 6-week solution to get to the trade deadline if you're the Dodgers, because you have an opportunity then to either he showcase this kid and he's unbelievable and he can bring you back another major league pitcher that can really help you, or he gets you at least down to that area where, okay, now we're at the end of July, the Dodgers are in the trade market, let's try to get in there and make a move, and Emmet Sheehan can go back to AAA for the rest of the season and manage his innings with 4 innings to start.
Or, the one thing, and we're talking about this on Rates and Barrels with Eno. I don't know if teams are open to doing this, but I really feel like the Dodgers are perfect for it, is just create your starter out of 2 pitchers. And I know it kind of maybe in theory it taxes like a bullpen because you're taking 2 pitchers to be 1 starter. But in theory, if you do it right, these guys can go 7 or 8 innings and just put Bobby Miller and Emmet Sheehan together. And, maybe it's Bobby starts the game and you give him an allotted amount of pitches, 80, and he can maybe go 4 or 5 innings.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Bobby,
Sheehan comes in for 3 or 4.
Emmet, you go through 3 innings and then go get your orange slices. And look,
that's the
Alex
most.
Manoah's pitching in a safe space. This is where we are.
That's the most 90s set of pitcher names to Bobby, Emmet. You guys go and you do your pitches, but you push them to go like 8 innings, and you can get both of them up. I think Sheehan actually might be up to kind of stick around for a little bit.
They're all bringing their Sega Genesis on the trip with them to Williamsport. It's gonna be a good time.
Good old Sega Genesis. Yeah.
Sega
it'd be like a
Genesis
Game Boy, PSP. Remember PSPs?
I do. PSP was like 2000. No, not 2000. Yeah, it was early 2000s. Yes, it was, because I was out of college when the PSP happened. 100%, I was out of college.
I remember having a PSP, but I don't remember being 18 or 19. But maybe
let's shout out BT because it's his birthday today. One of our favorite peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Happy birthday! There you go, Mr. BT. Let's get to some other headlines too. Matt Olson dropped to the 5th spot in the Braves lineup. I trolled him yesterday on the show. He went 1 for 9 with the 4 strikeouts. So we'll see if he can turn around this weekend. If you can, you're going to do it against the Colorado Rockies pitching staff. So I feel like this weekend there's a good shot. Maybe this is your buy low window on Matt Olson. Just saying. Grayson Rodriguez. Let's talk about this. 11 strikeouts, 2 earned runs over 6 innings in his start at AAA Norfolk. Is this a sign that you should be getting back into the Grayson Rodriguez business here quicker than we realized?
It's funny. It's funny that you actually brought him up, because I was looking at this exact thing just a couple days ago. The secondaries were like his big question. Seems to kind of be getting his footing back in. The K's are still there. He's striking out batters left and right, but like I think he's finding his command and his confidence a little bit more. I think it might be the time. We're all sitting here talking about, do I cut Yuri Perez and Emmet Sheehan and AJ Smith-Shawver? Grayson Rodriguez is going to come back up and do some stuff here into the near future, because that's a guy.
And they need him to. That rotation desperately needs him to. I think we could agree.
Yeah, over 70 innings last year. You could probably push easy 130. He's up to around 67. So you probably still have another 60 to 70 innings out of him if you bring him up, depending how aggressive they want to be. So, yeah, I think he's going to be coming up in the near future. So I would probably preemptively pick up.
All right, let's do some rapid fire questions here. Anthony XC7. Should I drop Outman as a 26 round keeper in a 12 team 30 round league? If I drop him and pick him back up later, he loses his keeper status. I mean, it's been rough for Outman out there in the streets. April was glorious. Ever since, it's been a little rough. What do you think about Outman?
Ooh, that's a big keeper. Was it? Did you say 26 people?
It's he's round 26 in the keeper in a 12-team league, so he would be round 26 as a keeper.
No, it's a 26 keeper in a 12 team 30 round league. So
as a round
keepers.
26 keeper. I got Outman as a round 26 keeper.
Oh, I got you, in a 30 round. So we don't know how many. So
he would be
keepers.
The equivalent of a 26 round pick in order to keep him. Depends on how many you're keeping. I don't know how many you keep in that.
That's what I was alluding to. If it was like 26 players.
No, but if it's let's say if it's a 5-person keeper, no. If it's a 10,
probably
now we're talking on the border where it's interesting, but I think if it's anything less than 10, I say no. I say you could drop them and move on, because go get whatever you need to win. I like to win now.
I think the easy answer is like, yeah, you drop. A couple people in the chat like easy drop. The only thing that's making it is a keeper. Also, this is one of those guys in his struggles is almost a 10-10, 9 homers, 7 stolen bases, but the strikeouts are horrid. He's got an XBA under 100. Sure. I just like, when you find these diamond in the rough, that's what keeper leagues are fun about sometimes, where you can kind of stash if it picks back up, because we saw the talent. We saw what he was doing. It's an absolute disaster right now. He just said it's a 12-team 3 keeper. Cut him and don't look back, Anthony XC7.
Tim's got one too. Better Emmet Sheehan or Emmett Brown from Back to the Future. For now, Emmett Brown. I mean,
which one was Emmett Brown?
Doc Brown.
Oh,
his first name is Emmett.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, he invented time travel. Like, Emmet Sheehan is pretty impressive, but
yeah,
he invented time travel. I mean, I think you got to give it to
Doc
him.
Brown.
Like, that's
Great
an easy
Scott.
Marty, what are you doing? All right, let's go to the rookie AJ Smith-Shawver. 1 out shy of the quality start. He was very close to it. He allowed 3 runs in 5 2/3 against the Rockies. Mets infield prospect Ronnie Mauricio played the outfield last night. Went 3 for 5, not 1, but 2 homers. Start stashing now, because to Welsh's point at the top of the show, where he says, I don't know what we're doing rookies anymore. They're playing. That's what teams are doing. Yeah. They're all in. These guys are cheaper, so you can go ahead and move them through the system a little bit. The CBA is friendlier to this rookie onslaught. And speaking of guys playing different positions, Christian Encarnacion Strand was playing right field on Thursday, Welsh. So is this the beginning here? It feels like we should be there with CS, right? Let's go.
We dance. We dance when we hear he's playing another position. Absolutely. Get him out there. I mean, would have been cool if you did this, I don't know, yesterday, the day before, the week before, the month. I guess they did do it yesterday, but the week before, the month before, have worked through this. Why are you doing this now? But yes, great sign. That just creates more flexibility, and clearly they want that bat in the lineup. But I don't know what timeline this puts on. If they're going to do the whole, he's got to learn the position, that might at minimum be a 2-week thing. But this usually kickstarts a player coming up very, very soon to see what they have out of him. Ronnie Mauricio was very close already. CES. If we're not into July and both of these guys are up, we riot. We riot.
By the way, what is a gigawatt? Yeah, because remember it says 1.21 gigawatts, right? Wasn't it gigawatts, he said? I think Jay-Z invented that, right?
Is it gigawatt? I think it's gigawatts.
Gigawatt? Giga-who? Yeah, it's a Jay-Z thing. I love Jay-Z.
You're going to be hitting the old dusty trail. It's a gigawatt.
Let's see. Is it gigawatt or there's gigawatts?
Let's do a poll.
He doesn't say gigawatt. He says gigawatts. I'm almost positive. H to the Izzo. Let's go to the injuries. Zach Neto on the 10-day IL with the oblique strain. So 2 home runs in a game. Last time he made our list. Now he's off with an oblique strain. So it's been a rough up and down season for young Zach Neto. Yeah. Kyle Wright cleared to begin throwing programs. So that's very important for the Atlanta Braves. They continue to piece this rotation together, but it doesn't matter because nobody in the East seems to want to get their crap together except the Marlins of all teams. So more on the Marlins today in a bit. Cody Bellinger got activated off the 10-day IL, and Matt Mervis got sent down to AAA. So after a couple homers, really, Matt Mervis was not ready for prime time. So Dynasty outlook, did this change, this cup of coffee that you saw from Matt Mervis, change any of your feelings long-term about him?
The smart play is to not let it, but I don't know how you don't not let it. I mean, the strikeouts were a massive problem. I mean, one of the biggest sells was what Mervis did last year. Every level, he got better and better. He walked more. He struck out less. That was the whole way we got through it. And this year, it's been a disaster. And also, back in my mind, I've been thinking about what the Cubs did to him early on, not wanting him there, wanted to bring these other guys in. And then they tried, they cut Hosmer to be like, all right, this is your gig. And you could not maintain it. So I think we should pay attention to that because the batting average was disastrous. Expected stats were a bit better. So, there's obviously still promise in there. So that's why I don't want to completely give up, but it's definitely down a couple notches.
Okay.
So it
John
is gigawatt.
Gray.
Sorry.
It is a who? Somebody called you Biff Tannen. I think Wonky called you Biff Tannen.
Biff.
That's kind of rough. Yeah, you're not.
Why am I
Biff?
That's
I
mean.
Don't know. If anything, you're more. I would think hey, you get your damn hands off her. More, Marty's dad kind of.
You're calling me Marty's dad?
I don't know.
The
I don't
awkward
think you're
guy. What's his real
guy.
name too? That guy's such a wacko.
Oh, God.
He's such a wacko. What is his name?
He is one of the weirdest.
He's so weird. Someone in the chat do it because it's some odd ass name too, but he's got some really crazy quirks.
Crispin Glover. Crispin Glover.
Crispin. Yeah, that's right. Crispin Glover.
Crispin Glover is like, he played that weird creepy. Like, he plays weird creepy guy. Like, he was in.
So thanks for that.
What was it? Charlie's Angels. I remember he was creepy guy in that. He was creepy guy in River's Edge. Totally creepy guy in that.
I mean, he's a little typecast there, Joe, because I think he's got one skill set. It's being like really weird,
just
creepy,
being
awkward.
Weirdo. Like, he's just a weirdo. He was in Dead Man too, which is another like Jim Jarmusch film. Now I'm really getting. Yeah, exactly. I went to art school. So
what do you mean he was a dead man?
It was in a movie called Dead Man. It's like another creepy, weird. One
of the weirdest things I ever saw.
Creepy, weird guys.
I want to say he did a podcast with Mark Maron a long time ago, and it was like as weird as you could think. Like, he's just an oddity.
But think about, like, he's worked with all these great directors. I'm looking like The Doors, The People vs. Larry Flint. Like, the guy's been in like 60 movies. It looks like What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Like all these movies. Like,
he's
all
got
the Back to
something
the
on
Future
somebody.
Stuff.
Yeah, he's got something. He seems like someone that would have something.
Takes advantage of people? The typecast and just goes, I'm just gonna work. This is my wheelhouse.
Yeah, but thanks for that wonky thing. Oh no, you said Biff. You called me. You're the rude one.
I didn't call you Biff.
Crispin
Wonky
Glover.
called you Biff. I said your hair is more Crispin Glover like. That's what I'm saying.
Are we turning on the hair now? We had such a good run of
he
being
had great hair, and
hair.
I'm saying he had great hair. You've got great hair. I'm just jealous. Is it weird to like do a show with me and then do a show with Eno? Because Eno has such like spectacular big curly hair, and
he does. He was on Foul Territory too the other day. It's so funny when you see people like go on those like big shows, and you can just see him sit in his space, and he's just rocking all the curls. And I could never. And Bogman too. I don't know if you've seen Bogman's hair lately. It is something to marvel at. And then
all right, let's marvel at John Gray, who's going to start on Sunday, and Pete Fairbanks, who was activated, got a save. There you go, and Byron Buxton.
Hey,
he's back. Set your watch. We'll see how long he lasts. Here's some fun stuff. So Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo signed the Athletics baseball stadium funding bill yesterday. So let's go. It's going to be all Las Vegas, whatever creepy, weird things that we can.
Right as they had the reverse thing where he's like almost 30,000 people and it's A's, and they're like, all right, and see ya. Now it's officially Vegas.
Well, because I think that just shows you what a joke it is. The reverse boycott. Let's all go to the game one night. I mean, that's where
kids should do that. Let's do it for a season. Did you see also Bryce Harper had some words about it too? Because Bryce Harper, famously from Vegas.
Yeah.
There was actually a rumor a while back, not that anyone cares, that in the free agency time, Bryce Harper wanted to play for the Diamondbacks because it was closer to Vegas, or at least he was open to playing for the Diamondbacks at that time, but they didn't have the money. But Bryce Harper was, in recent comments, he was super against this, in that the A's should stay the A's because of their history, and they should open this up for expansion, and Vegas should have an expansion team because you want a team that is going to be very Vegas rooted with the name and everything like that. And to get rid of the A, I thought that was like an interesting take from a baseball player to be that invested in that take instead of just being like, whatever. It was like, no, there's too much history with the A's.
Right. Because that's what baseball needs to be more watered down with more players like that aren't ready for prime time. Like over 162 game season. That's what we need.
I will say that one thing that I wish all sports would have figured out too is where it's not, I guess it's not a 1-for-1, but like we definitely do see a lot of the issues come from states that have like 4 teams, 3 teams. We don't need 3 teams in every state. Florida, California, they don't need.
California's got 5. New York's got 2. I mean, Texas has 2, right?
Florida has. I mean, in football, Florida's got 3. In baseball,
but you're talking about some bigger populous states. I mean, it just makes sense, and I understand where he's coming from, like keeping the history of the team. But I mean, I kind of think of it like the Oilers and the Tennessee Titans. Like the Oilers had a really good, storied NFL history there. They had a lot of important players and a lot of important moments. And they kept that, and they maintained that history when they went over to Tennessee. The Rockies selected the contract of Jorge Alfaro at AAA Albuquerque. If you're in those 2-catcher leagues, would you be trying to pick up Alfaro? That's some good numbers there, AAA.
2-catcher league, sure, I'd be open to it. He had big power. If Gary Sanchez can succeed, anyone can succeed.
Now, I don't see Mayor in the chat today, and I think I know why. Because last night, Paul Blackburn, his favorite pitcher, recorded a career-high 9 strikeout performance, 2 earned runs over 5 2/3. No decision, but I don't see you, Mike Mayer. Where are you at? Mr. I hate Paul Blackburn, all that stuff. I don't see him today. Mystery? I don't think so. I think it's very telling.
Could it
3
be
up and 3 down? Maybe. Shohei Ohtani pitched 6 innings of 2-run ball yesterday, 22 home runs. I mean, I don't know. We're running out of ways to talk about
What
how
are
awesome
his
Shohei
odds
Ohtani
right
is.
now? Has anybody looked at his MVP odds? I'm going to look right now because it hasn't
Yeah,
gone
why don't
away.
you look on Betting
I
Pros
got it
where you
right
can get
here.
all of your odds right now. By the
Oh,
way, our
well,
Betting Pros group is joined an enormous. We're well over 100 now. Again, bettingpros.com/leading off. That's where you go join the Betting Pros group. You can go and place your bets, have some fun things going on there.
almost
What is it? I
150.
assume it's
Almost
plus
no,
150
on the
still
group.
for MVP.
100, almost 150 people
Oh
on the
no.
group. I point out real quick, I want to get that group to 200. So let's make that happen and let's have a prize. But yeah, it's minus 300 right now, and Judge is plus 800. So there is an 1100.
Yeah, when Judge got hurt,
gap.
that really and I just invested him and he got hurt a week later. But I keep telling everybody, like, maybe you cash out now, because in 6 weeks, if he's not an Angel, it's zero. It's a 0% chance. Like, it's over. There's a better chance of him winning National League MVP at that point.
Well, that's what I was curious
Which is
about.
not an absurd thing. If he gets traded to the National League, I can't wait to
Yeah.
see what those odds would be, because that would be fascinating.
Well,
if
do you
they
remember
all
when
just got
CC
together and said, "No, you just gotta
Sabathia?
get-"
CC
yeah.
Sabathia won the Cy Young going
He was
from
pitching
the AL
on
to
3
the
days
NL.
rest for like a month. Willed that team. He was hitting bombs. Remember too? That was when pitchers were still hitting, and he was hitting home runs in Miller Park. Oh, it was a great time to be alive.
Something to not discount. There's still the possibility, even if he were be traded to another division, that he still gets that because of the. I mean, like, we're in.
No, but if he gets
awe
traded
of
to
what
another
he's doing.
league, that's a problem. If he gets traded to the National League, you can't win the American League MVP. Like, that's not going to
No,
happen.
but I'm saying you could still, like,
There's a
obviously-
better chance of him winning the National League MVP. In fact, are there odds for him at the National League MVP? I
Oh
wonder.
God, that would be a.
Do they even
Acuna.
exist?
You know what? That's what makes this crazy.
God.
Because I was saying, like, they're still
probably
going to
don't.
have in mind what he did in the first half. The same thing happened with Sabathia, even though it was amazing where he was. They'll still consider that. But, like, you're right. Acuna's minus money. You're not going to put Ohtani over there and he's going to surpass Acuna. Acuna is going to do something wild this year. That's a good point. I mean, I still
going to laugh at all of us, because everyone's going to be so happy with all these Shohei Ohtani things, and then when he gets traded, they're all going to laugh and take your money. He's not on the board right now. I'm looking right now for National League MVP. And
I'm still going to say I don't think he gets traded, though. I know we had like a listener question that Wonky told us about.
There is no way he doesn't get traded. There's no way. The Angels need so much help in that organization. They're nowhere close.
But they won't accept it. They haven't accepted it. They want it because the minute you trade Ohtani, that is the acceptance that he is gone from this organization forever.
Well,
I think they would. I think they would rather go to free agency and test that battle at this point than completely
great. So
give
you
up.
lose him for a draft pick.
Oh, it's stupid, but I think that's where it's
It's
at.
horrendous. And this is why the Angels are the Angels.
Well,
if they do that, it's so bad. Adley Rutschman 3 for 5 with a solo homer and a double. He's been terrific. Taj Bradley, as you mentioned before, 11 strikeouts, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, and 4 1/3. Again, only 4 1/3, but still, we'll take the 11.
Dude, he went
please.
9 and 9, 9 straight outs, 9 straight. He was bonkers,
crazy.
and he was on the. What was he? I think he was on my PrizePicks yesterday too. So bam, bam.
Yeah. 3 down. Aaron Nola still 4 runs and 6 2/3. I mean, I know they won, but his ERA is at 4.66 still. I'm still buying Aaron Nola, but I want to. This was always my fear with him, and this is why last year I really kicked myself, because I always felt like he was an up and down guy, and he was a high price tag guy, and I dropped him in my home league because of the price. And I was like, let me just reinvest in another pitcher. And then he was amazing last year, and I was really pissed off at myself. And now here we are. He's got a 4.6 ERA, and I said, well, I guess this is Aaron Nola after all. Jason Hayward, 0 for 5, 4 Ks, and Lourdes Gurriel came back, and now he is 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts too.
Awful.
But maybe should have had a rehab assignment. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, let's pick some prizes. Welsh, let's do it. Go to PrizePicks.com, download the PrizePicks app, get a 100% deposit match up to $100. But you have to use the promo code Leading Off. Can you remember that? Leading Off. Go sign up today. Welsh, what do you have for the people?
Oh, love me some PrizePicks. And guess what? We would have cashed yesterday if it wasn't for the wiener, the Ohtani free wiener.
I
spot.
know.
That was the only thing.
Stupid wiener tacos. That's what
I know. Have you seen my wiener? If you remember the Jonah Hill thing. All right. So today there are no wiener plays. So we're going to go with 3 straight plays, which did a little bit better yesterday. I'm going with George Springer just to score a run. I'm going with Goldie fantasy score 7.5 and Ronald Acuna with a very high 9.5 score. But I like it a lot. I like going against Dinellis and Lamet and the Rockies. I feel like I'm going to take anything under 15 for an Acuna over the weekend. So thank you very much. Again, Springer run, Goldie score, Acuna score. Those are my 3 to pay 100 if you put down 20.
All right, prize picks for me. I'm doing all total bases today. 1.5 over on Luis Ariz, Welsh's favorite. 1.5 over on Ronald Acuna for those same reasons against Nelson Lamet. And 1.5 Shohei Ohtani over because he's Shohei Ohtani. Betting side today, it's not that, again, we're in another weird betting day. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a lot of Oppo bets. Okay, and you can go follow me over at Betting Pros. I've made all these already in there, so you can go and follow along. Shane McClanahan, 6.5. I'm going to go the under here against San Diego. I know I'm going to be unpopular. Then we're going to go with the minus 110 St. Louis Cardinals over the Mets because McGill's been terrible and the Mets don't have Alonso, so let's troll the Mets a little bit. Kevin Gausman, last start wasn't great, but I think, yeah, I know, but I like betting Texas tonight at plus 125. You're getting a much better number than the minus 136. And again, I'm going to go Oppo here. Today's Oppo day. It's a Freaky Friday. Let's call it Freaky Friday. So I'm going Oppo with the Rangers at plus 125. I'm going Oppo with the Padres with Darvish on the mound against McClanahan, plus 102 on the money line. And then I'm going to go Oppo with McKenzie, who's plus 130 on the road against Zach Gallen. I think if you go Oppo here with small units and even plug them all together, if you hit everything, you're going to have a really nice day. But you can do them individually too. Welsh, what do you have on the betting side today?
That's interesting. You brought up I didn't put it on here, but I will tell you, I'm considering it, is that under in the Diamondbacks game, actually, against McKenzie and Gallen through the first five. It's low. I wish it was 4.5. It's at 4. I just feel like that could go low early on, and that makes it anybody's game. Diamondbacks did just lose 3 of 4. So, are they on a cold streak, or are they going to come out swinging against the Guardians? So I don't know. I'm feeling the first 5 under on that one. But my bets so far are Andrew Abbott, 4.5 strikeouts today, going up against the Astros. Bogman will be at that game, so he's going to bring good juju, I'm hoping. And he's hoping Ellie De La Cruz. If Ellie De La Cruz is not in the lineup, he said he's going to riot and ask for his money back. But Andrew Abbott getting some strikeouts. And I'm going to go with a pretty easy play, Atlanta minus 1.5. And it's like minus 120 or 125 up against Colorado. And I'm making the big bet on Atlanta just going ham. So those are my 2 bets right now, but make sure you follow the Betting Pros leading off group that we have, because as we put in plays, I can't put in some of my like team total stuff, but any other lines or props we put in, you guys can go and check out. You can follow if you want, with all other 140 plus people in that awesome group. So go and sign up today. Let's get to 200, and Joe will, he'll wear a mohawk.
Wonky has said this last time about the discount dog on Prize Picks. Whenever they put those discount dogs, just go to the original number and just bet the under. She's 100% right.
That's a good play. I mean, it's similar to like any other.
They put them out there when something went wrong in the algorithm and they want to change it. And they're like, you know what we should do instead? Let's just offer it at a discount thing.
Well, it is one of those things like
that way instead.
With normal books, when they'll put up like, they're like, hey, today is, the bonus thing. And you're just like, I don't believe you. I'm not going to take, I never take those. But I don't know, that Ohtani one was like pretty sexy yesterday.
Yeah, that's a
that little wiener was just like 5.5, and then we were just like, oh my god, okay.
Next thing you walk out with an STD. That's what happens. So Rare MLB. There's no transition I could possibly make, so let's just talk about So Rare. It's free, it's fun, it's fantasy, and I suggest you give it a try this weekend. You got Saturday, Sunday going on. You're sitting by the pool, maybe, I don't know, by the beach. I mean, a lot of the kids are off right now, just hanging out, doing nothing. Go check out So Rare. It's cards. You open the packs, you put your team together, you compete in places like our league, fantasypros.com/leadingoffleague. So go check out So Rare. Play today. It's free. fantasypros.com/collect. That's the place to do it. DFS slate today. I'm still okay with investing in Gausman despite the fact that I trolled them, because again, I'm looking for who has potential for 6 strikeouts, quality start, and a win. Again, just because I like quality start and the 6 strikeouts doesn't mean necessarily Toronto's going to win that game. 11-2 for Gausman, 11-4 for Joe Ryan. Really expensive today. Then you got Tristan McKenzie and Zach Gallen in the same game. I would go with the McKenzie side, just be Oppo and be different in the tournaments, because I'm sure Gallen will be much more heavily rostered. Shane McClanahan, also, same thing. He's 11K. Let's go to Yu Darvish at 9.3. So, Freaky Friday today. We're just going Oppo and everything. Yankees, Braves, Marlins, Stacks, Jesus Sanchez 2.7, Owen Miller 2.8, Michael Harris 2.5. Those are your cheap bats of the day. And the home run calls, Ronald Acuna, that's the one for the weekend. Welsh, that's where I'm going. Ethan will be back from vacation. We'll have our home run board back. But if you haven't, head over to fantasypros.com/chat. Join the Discord. Sign up. Go premium. Make your home run calls at fantasypros.com/premium and get in there. We still got a couple months left here. Welsh, where are you going for your home run call tonight and through the weekend?
It was going to be Acuna. I was annoyed that you had that on there. So.
Come on, just go
all right,
together.
we'll go Acuna. I will say the guy that I put on here as my replacement was Freddie Freeman, if anybody cares, so we could watch that. But I was 1,000% going Acuna, and then I looked at the sheet and I was like, damn it, Joe, come on. But yeah, we're riding Acuna together through the weekend into the
holding
sunset.
hands. Cody's in on it. I see Cody's in on the chat. All those
holding hands,
reaching out,
touching you.
All right,
touching me, touching you.
This is where HR gets called in, I think, pretty much. So look, everybody go out there, have a great weekend, enjoy the baseball games. We're going to have some really fun BP stuff coming at you too. So Ariel Epstein from MLB Network is going to join us on the Betting Pros show. We're going to talk to her about the mid-season wagers that are out there and how to talk about them. Welsh and I are going to be doing Home Run Derby before you know it too. So if you haven't already, subscribe to Betting Pros podcast, especially the Betting Pros YouTube channel too, because we're going to have some fun MLB content with the All-Star game coming up and a lot more things. So that'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy your weekend.